Hi, welcome to another edition of online physics class. Today we shall be discussing the topic the nature of matter. I'm your regular tutor, Olujibi Gabriel. But before we go fully into today's topic, at the objective of today's class. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to define matter and the particle theory. State the postulate of particle theory of matter. 3. Explain evidence supporting the particle of the nature of matter. Describing the arrangement of particles in different states of matter. Then you should be able to identify real-life application of the particle theory. Now, here is the topic in details. The first question is, what is matter? Now, when you look around you, everywhere you see different objects, be it solid, liquid, or anything like air around you. We say matter is anything that has mass and occupies space. Like table, wood, stone, everything around you, they occupy one form of space or the other. When you pour a liquid in a glass cup, that liquid is occupying some space in that glass. Even your gas cylinder contains some gas that is occupying the volume of that cylinder. Examples of matter, we have wood and solid, we have wood, metals, and any other thing you can think of around you. Now we have liquid. Liquid can be in form of water, oil, or any other thing. Then gases like the air we breathe in or the helium gas that we use to fill some balloon. Now these are the examples of solid, liquid, and gas. Now, particle theory of matter. What are the theory that guide the existence of matter? Now, the first one is saying that matter is made up of tiny discrete particles that we call atom or molecules. The second one is talking about that particles are always in constant motion. That is, whatever the state they are, the particle of that matter, they are always in constant motion. They may be in a fixed position, but they are always vibrating, interacting with each other. Then there are spaces between the particles, like the picture that you are having here. Look at the spaces you have in solid, look at the spaces you have in gas, and that of the liquid. Then we say particles attract each other with forces. That is why they are always together, because they are always held together by a force of attraction. Now, what are the evidences that support the particle nature of matter? The first one is diffusion and the second one is Brownian motion. You must have had this experience whereby somebody is cooking in the next compound or in your neighborhood. The aroma of that food will get to you even without knowing where the aroma is coming from. That is a typical example of diffusion. Now, diffusion is the movement of particle from higher to low concentration. Example is what? A perfume that is spreading in a room. From the point where you squeeze the top of the perfume bottle, that is the region where you have the concentration more. Then to your nose that you are using to perceive the perfume, that is the region of lower concentration. Another evidence is the Brownian motion. If you have the opportunity of observing smoke molecules, the way they move randomly. You see the random movement of tiny particle suspended in a liquid or gas. Now, this is a typical example of diffusion. This is the region of the high concentration to region of what? Low concentration. You can see that the particles are more compressed together, unlike to the place to the destination. You can see the particles are more scattered. Then look at that of what? The Brownian motion. That is, their movement is just in a zigzag manner. Example where you can find that is when you dissolve a pollen grain in water, you see the particle moving randomly or smoke particle. To the next slide. Now, the state of matter and the particle arrangement. There are three states of matter. We have the solid, the liquid, and gas. Unfortunately, it is only water that can assume the three states of matter. Now, the when you check at the particles of solid and that of liquid and that of gas, you see that their arrangements are different. Now, look very closely with this heading that I have here, which is the closeness of the particle. You see that in solid, the particles are well close together and well arranged. Now, in liquid, they are close also, but you can see that the arrangement is randomly. Now, you can see for gas, they are just fair apart, unlike the first two states. Now, look at the arrangement. The arrangement for solid is regular. That of liquid is randomly arranged. Then that of gas is also randomly arranged. Now, the movement of particle. In solid, the particle vibrates around in a fixed position. That is, they can't move about. If you touch, let's say you have a solid wood that when you press on it, you see that it cannot be compressed because the particle are packed together. They cannot move from one position to another. But for liquid, they move around each other because there is space for them to what? Move because they are randomly arranged. The same thing happens to gas. They move quickly in all directions. They can move about because the space between them is very far. Then the energy of the particles. Since this one they are well packed together, they can't move, they have low energy. Now for liquid, they have the energy is more than that of what? The solid, and in gas, the energy is much more than in the first two. Now, the states of matter. We have the liquid, we have the gas, and the solid. Take this one to be like an ice block or something, a solid water like ice. It can be melted to form liquid. You can allow to melt by itself or you apply heat. Whichever way, it will just make the process to be faster. Then liquid, when you boil liquid, it evaporates into gas, just like the steam we have on our food. Then solid can turn to gas directly through a process called sublimation. You can see. Then gas too can we can also make steam to turn to liquid through process called condensation. Then we can also make gas to become solid directly through deposition. Now, example of material or solid that turn from solid to gas directly is your air freshener. You see that you have solid air freshener, not the liquid type, the solid air freshener. By the time you allow it, you see that the vapor, they start evaporating in form of vapor into solid. Now this one is giving you the replica of what you have here, telling you that you can change from different state to the other through different process. In conclusion, matter is made up of particles that are always in constant motion. Particle theory explains that properties of matter are and phenomena like diffusion. Now, the study of matter reveals the complexity and beauty of the natural world. Now, look at this next slide. This one is telling you exactly how your phone looks like in theory. Now, these are the particles that make up the screen of this phone. This is how it looks like. This how we have been making use of matter around us. So everything that you have in your room, your fan, everything, they contain matter. They are made of tiny particles. Now before you go, here is small assignment for you to brush up your idea and to solidify the knowledge you gain through the course of this lesson. You can define matter and list three states of matter which you have discussed before, then explain the key postulation of the particle theory. But the one I want you to really make research about is to explain why the smell of perfume spread across the room using the particle theory that we just explained. Then investigate and write about how the particle theory of matter is applied in one modern technology, e.g. gas diffusion in air condition or osmotic membrane in water filtration. Till I come your way next time, enjoy. your day. Thank you for listening.